A lot of you might be using Rising UI from some time, but do you know which are the great features available here which you definitely have to check it out? I made a video on Rising OS updates from a long time, but never mentioned some features which you definitely have to enable. Which are those? Let's just talk about quickly about all of those them. Firstly, we have to enable this user switcher option, and this is so useful in certain cases. The option is enabled by default and you can disable that if you are not into these things. You can simply switch between multiple users directly from the lock screen, and this also makes your lock screen quite impressive. Secondly, if you move on the privacy options, you will notice ignore secure window flag. I know it's quite popular, but the thing is this feature most of the times available in that specific hub where you have all those customizations, but in Rising UI this feature is present in the privacy options, so make sure to enable this if this is not enabled by default. We also have the option named as system haptics. This is quite impressive, and this is actually also one of the unique features available in Rising UI, not available in most of the custom ROMs. You can adjust the haptics for almost everything: edge scrolling, quick setting style haptics, volume slider haptics, brightness slider haptics, and back gesture haptics intensity. We also have some custom volume panel styles available, so if you did not check out the volume panel styles yet, make sure to try them. Some volume panel styles are also great looking. You can enable the Rising UI style or Realme UI style, whichever you feel perfect with. You also have the option named as the morph style, which is one of my favorite. You can enable this, and this is how the volume panel is looking like. You have the option to enable or disable anything from these, but these volume panel styles are quite good enough. You definitely have to check it out if you are using Rising UI. Another thing is the setting style. Of course, if you are into the customizations, you definitely have to check out how the settings looks like. For example, I have enabled this option. Now this is the card style UI which you have enabled, including this one. If you want to choose any other, for example Google Material U, then just wait for a few seconds, settings will be restarted, and then the settings UI is looking like this. Like this, we have approximately 5 to 6 styles available, I guess. If I move on to personalization, user interface setting style, we have approximately 6 settings styles available. So whichever you feel comfortable with or better options for you, try that. We also have some extra options related to quick settings, and this is quite useful for most of the users, I think. If you enable Android 11 style quick settings panel, you have to adjust the columns and rows, by the way, the quick setting portrait and also rows, columns, etc. And after applying change, check out the quick settings panel like this one. If you're not satisfied with the Android 11 style UI, you can switch back to Android 13 once again after simply disabling all these things which you have enabled, or adjusting the rows and columns and enabling the quick settings portrait, etc. By the way, this is one of the features which most of the users will definitely enable. Rising UI also provides you this feature named as System Manager Game Boost Mode for the gamers. I don't play games, to be very honest, but if you play, you have some options available. You can choose between sustained performance, interactive, or we have the option named as fixed performance. So whichever you feel comfortable with, you can try it out, and also let me know in the comment box if this feature is working on your device or not. If I move on to the miscellaneous option, some of the great features include this floating rotate button. So in some cases this feature is so useful, but in most of the cases, at least for me, I don't use this feature at all. The best thing is you can disable this option very easily by moving into the miscellaneous options, and you can get this thing even with the help of a Magisk module in some of the custom ROMs if it is not available by default. If you want to take a look at that Magisk module also, make sure to check out my other video on my Hindi channel regarding Magisk modules. Rising UI also gives you the option to change the lock screen clocks. There are many lock screen clock styles available. Some of them are so amazing, and of course customizing and not customizing the lock screen doesn't make a sense. So you definitely have to check it out. There are many lock screen clock fonts available which you can go and check it out. We also have some battery styles options available, though some battery options are so amazing. Some battery styles, for example, the battery icons are like the iOS style or etc. One of my favorite is the iOS 16 style, but you can use any other if you want. There are many battery styles options available. Including that, there are many more customization options available here and there. These were the must have or must try things in Rising UI according to me. If you are using Rising OS, make sure to try these features, and if you want to know more about other custom home features, make sure to subscribe this channel. Also like this video. Thanks for watching and goodbye.